There was a man named Tagu. He was the right hand of a mafia named Chairman Jang. Tagu met another mafia leader who wanted to recruit him. But Tagu, who was known as a trusted figure and had high responsibility, Tagu refused Chairman Do's invitation. After meeting with Chairman Do, Tagu went to a hospital. When he arrived at the hospital, Tagu apologized to a child and a woman because Tagu arrived late. They were both Tagu's older sister and niece. That day, Tagu knew that his niece's birthday. Tagu had planned a party to celebrate his niece's birthday. Therefore, Tagu told the two of them to go home first. Meanwhile, he would follow them home after finishing his business. Before that, he walked his niece and her older sister to the car. After that, he met a doctor who treated Tagu's older sister. It turned out that Tagu's older sister had a severe illness and needed a donor. Unfortunately, Tagu's DNA didn't match his older sister. This was because they were both half-siblings. The difference in DNA made the transplant process difficult. Hearing this, Tagu then could only sit silently. He realized that his sister's condition would worsen if the transplant wasn't done immediately. As Tagu worried about his sister, who was seriously ill, his phone suddenly rang. He got the news that the car in which his sister and his niece were carrying had been in an accident. Hearing this, Tagu immediately went to the scene. He was shocked to know that the tragic accident left his sister and niece dead. Tagu could only sit and stare at the car that had destroyed the precious people in Tagu's life. Then the funeral of Tagu's two loved ones took place. The mafia members were present, including their boss, Chairman Jang. The man also felt a sense of loss. Chairman Jang suspected that another mobster deliberately killed Tagu's loved ones. Chairman Jang said that he suspects that one person who could potentially kill them would be Chairman Do, who once tried to recruit Tagu. Hearing that, Tagu immediately believed it. He then asked Chairman Jang to bring Tagu in contact with Chairman Do. In addition, Tagu said that he was ready to execute Chairman Do. Chairman Jang was happy to hear that because it turned out that he also wanted Chairman Do dead, so Chairman Jang could gain more power. Without thinking, Chairman Jang arranged a schedule for Tagu and Chairman Do to meet. In the evening, Tagu went to a sauna. There he met Chairman Do, who used to come to the sauna. As they talked, Chairman Do tried to express his condolences for the death of Tagu's older sister and his beloved niece. Chairman Do even strongly criticized the actions of a cowardly person who dared to involve his family in a conflict between the mobsters. Chairman Do, upset by the news of the death of Tagu's loved ones, then told Tagu that he would help find the person behind the death of Tagu's family. However, Tagu didn't want anything to do with Chairman Do. He quickly refused Chairman Do's offer. After talking with Chairman Do, Tagu then asked permission to wash himself. After he washed himself, Tagu then took a knife that he had brought with him. With a casual gesture, Tagu slowly approached Chairman Do's men. He quickly and easily killed Leader Do's men. Then Tagu came head-to-head with Chairman Do. He killed him instantly. Seeing that the man died without a single wound, Tagu quickly escaped through the back window. He drove away in his car from that place. The next day, Tagu met with Chairman Jang. Knowing that his enemy was dead, Chairman Jang was relieved. He appreciated Tagu's actions. Then Chairman Jang gave Tagu some money and a new identity for Tagu. He did this so that Tagu could hide for a while until the situation became conducive again. Tagu planned to stay in Jeju for a week before he continued his trip to Russia. Once Tagu arrived on Jeju Island, there was a woman named Jae Yen. She was ordered to pick up Tagu by her uncle named Kudo. Cup couldn't pick up Tagu because he was busy. Kudo was an illegal arms dealer and an associate of Chairman Jang. Kudo sold his illegal arms to the mafia in Korea. Shortly after Kudo's buyer left, Tagu and Jae Yen came. In the evening, the three of them ate dinner and talked. From the conversation with Kudo, Tagu found out that Kudo was a former mobster who had retired. Kudo chose to live with his niece, but when the three of them were together, Jae Yen didn't look happy with Tagu's presence. She said that it would be better if Tagu left her house sooner because Jae Yen didn't like dealing with the mafia. Tagu heard that and didn't think much of Jae Yen's words. Until when they finished eating, Tae-gu wanted to contact his subordinate named Jin-sung. Unfortunately, he couldn't contact his men because of signal problems on Jeju Island. At Chairman Jang's apartment, he looked anxious and worried. Moments later, Chairman Jang's men come to see him. He said that his men failed to kill the top leaders of Chairman Do's gang. Those who survived managed to escape from the attack of Chairman Jang's men. Hearing that, Chairman Jang was furious. Moreover, his men got information that Chairman Do was still alive and hospitalized. Chairman Jang could only regret that his fate was in danger. Shortly thereafter, someone called Chairman Jang. He was named Director Ma, who was the target of Chairman Jang that managed to survive. He then threatened to kill him for disturbing their gang. Without a long time, he and his men came to Chairman Jang's headquarters. They then killed all of Chairman Jang's men. In the morning, Chairman Jang found out that his men had been killed by Director Ma and his men. He then asked for help from a policeman who was the supervisor of the mafia in Korea. However, the surveillance had no effect on the mafia's business. When he met with a policeman named Park, Chairman Jang immediately gave a lot of money so that Park would take action quickly. Finally, Park accepted his request. He immediately called Director May to discuss the situation between Chairman Jang and Director Ma. Meanwhile, Tae-gu woke up to the sound of Jae-yeon shooting in his yard. Then Tae-gu approached Jae-yeon, who was apparently practicing shooting. Seeing Jae-yeon, who was quite skilled in shooting, amazed Tae-gu. After that, Tae-gu went back into the house, but when he came out again to check on Jae-yeon's condition, he was surprised to see her unconscious in the car. In addition, Tae-gu found an injection in the car. Seeing that, Tae-gu was very worried. Tae-gu and Kudo quickly took Jae-yeon to the hospital. When they arrived at the hospital, Tae-gu found out that Jae-yeon had a chronic illness. Kudo even told him that Jae-yeon didn't have much time left in her life. Kudo also told Tae-gu that he did everything he could so that Jae-yeon could live longer and get good treatment. He sold illegal weapons and smuggled people out of the country in a fast way so that he could pay for his beautiful niece's treatment. In addition, Kudo expressed his intention to take Jae-yeon to America to have better treatment. Elsewhere, Chairman Jang, Park, and Director Ma gathered in one room. Park, who is the supervisor of the mafia's activities, asked Director May to solve his problem with Chairman Jang. But Director Ma was very upset with Chairman Jang, who started this fight. Director Ma just wanted to kill Chairman Jang. Hearing that Chairman Jang was scared, he tried to cover up his fear. Then Park revealed that the work evaluation will be held soon. Therefore, Park needed to immediately solve the problem involving the mafia, because if not, he would be demoted from his position. However, Park's words didn't make Director Ma and Chairman Jang reconcile. Director Ma asked Park to find a solution for both of them. At the hospital, Jae-yeon finally woke up from her stupor. She then invited Tae-gu home. On the way, the two of them had a meal together. But Tae-gu noticed that Jae-yeon was more outgoing than usual. Shortly after the meal, Tae-gu received a call from Chairman Jang, who ordered Tae-gu to pack up his things without leaving any trace. Chairman Jang said that he planned to escape to Russia together with Tae-gu. But unfortunately, the plan was just a trap that Chairman Jang set up to sacrifice Tae-gu. Park gave advice for Chairman Jang to hand over Tae-gu. Meanwhile, the conflict between Chairman Jang and Director Ma became a conflict between Chairman Jang and Tae-gu. Back to Tae-gu and Jae-yeon, who arrived home. They saw several cars in front of the house. It turned out that when they were from the hospital, Kudo was selling arms to the mafia. But sadly, the mafia would like to finish Kudo off. They wanted to take over Kudo's business so they could deal with Russia. Kudo fell down when they beat him up. Luckily, he had a gun in his hand. He immediately shot at those in his room. Tae-gu, who heard the gunshots from inside, immediately came out of the car. Tae-gu and Jae-yeon shot at the people outside. Meanwhile, Kudo dueled with one of the mafia until both of them were dying. Not long after, Jae-yeon came to her uncle, who was covered in blood. This scene made Jae-yeon cry hysterically. As Jae-yeon was sad, someone tried to kill her. Lucky for her, Tae-gu came in time and beat him up. Moments before Kudo died, he apologized to Jae-yeon. until finally Jay Yan saw her uncle dead. She then got up from her seat with a blank stare. She brutally shot at the mobsters. Then Tae-gu approached her and calmed Jay Yan down. Without much thought, Tae-gu immediately asked Jay Yan to leave the house because the mobsters might come again. On the way, Jay Yan was still angry at the situation. Even her illness relapsed again. Seeing that, Tae-gu panicked and immediately looked for Jay Yan's medicine. Jay Yan, who couldn't bear the pain, then bit Tae-gu's hand. Until a few moments later, Jay Yan got better again. They continued their journey to Jay Yan's brother's house. After a long and tiring journey, they arrived at Jay Yan's brother's house. Tae-gu didn't talk about what happened to Jay Yan to his brother. Then Jay Yan and Tae-gu talked about Jay Yan's past. Tae-gu finally knew that Jay Yan's parents were killed by the mafia. This was due to Kudo's business dealing with the mafia. Ever since her mother and father died, Jay Yan was very angry and hated her uncle. But over time, she was able to accept the death of her mother and father and began to love Kudo. Just before going to bed, Tae-gu took care of Jay Yan. He gave her medicine. However, Tae-gu is surprised when Jay Yan invites him to sleep with her. Jay Yan said maybe her life won't be longer. Hearing that, Tae-gu was confused. Tae-gu firmly said that Jay Yan wasn't the type of woman he liked. Then Tae-gu walked out of the room. This made Jay Yan become annoyed because Tae-gu rejected her invitation. The next morning, Tae-gu bought food for Jay Yan. They spent time together. Even though their relationship seemed cold at first, they have become closer now. Meanwhile, at the airport, Chairman Jang waited anxiously for Tae-gu's arrival. Tae-gu, who took Jay Yan back to his brother's house, immediately said goodbye to go to the airport. Jay Yan then said that she had a bad feeling. However, Tae-gu still decided to go to the airport. When he arrived at the airport, Tae-gu saw that some of the mafia's men were there. Tae-gu, who felt something was wrong, then received a call from his subordinate named Jin Sung. It turned out that Jin Sung had been hospitalized and was still undergoing treatment. Jin Sung in a hurried voice told him that Chairman Jang betrayed Tae-gu. He also said that Chairman Jang would sacrifice Tae-gu. Tae-gu heard that and was shocked. He tried to think clearly so he could escape from the airport. When Tae-gu saw Chairman Jang and Director Ma walking with high security, Tae-gu tried to hide. Unfortunately, Chairman Jang found out that Tae-gu was at the airport. Then his men chased after Tae-gu, who tried to escape. This made the airport situation tense. Fortunately, Tae-gu was able to escape and get into his car. Chairman Jang's men kept chasing Tae-gu until Tae-gu's car was pinched, which made him injured. Then some other mobsters come and beat Tae-gu up. With all his might, Tae-gu managed to defeat them all. Until when the police headed to their place, Tae-gu threatened one of them and managed to escape from that place. Director Ma was angry to hear the news about Tae-gu escaping from their pursuit. He also didn't like the behavior of Chairman Jang, who betrayed his own men. He then punched Chairman Kang's face in annoyance. Seeing that, Chairman Jang said that he would use Jay Yan to provoke Tae-gu. He planned to hold Jay Yan as a hostage so that Tae-gu would come to them. Meanwhile, Tae-gu sped towards Jay Yan's brother's house. He wanted to invite Jay Yan to go with him. The truth was that Jay Yan wasn't there. She went back to Kudo's house to get the things she left behind. Hearing that, Tae-gu immediately rushed to Kudo's house. On the way, Tae-gu received a call from Chairman Jang, who looked angry. Then Director Ma took Chairman Jang's cell phone. He talked to Tae-gu and said that Jay Yan was in their hands. Hearing that, Tae-gu was furious and upset. Tae-gu immediately made a deal with Director Ma that if Tae-gu came, then they had to release Jay Yan and Jin Sung. However, Jay Yan firmly told Tae-gu not to come to the place where she was arrested. She said that Tae-gu would be a fool to come to that place. Jay Yan added that she was about to die, so Jay Yan didn't need to save her. Even though Tae-gu heard clearly that Jay Yan told him not to come, he still insisted on continuing his journey. When he arrived at Jay Yan's house, he saw a group of Director Ma's men surrounding the house. Tae-gu fought them off with great difficulty. He was finally brought in with a battered condition. Then he demanded Director Ma's promise to release Jay Yan and Jin Sung. However, when Director Ma called Jin Sung, he found out that Jin Sung was going to be killed. It turned out that this was done by Chairman Jang, who ordered his men to kill Jin Sung. Chairman Jang quickly explained that if he let him live, there would be trouble, so he decided to kill him instead. Director Ma was shocked that Chairman Jang broke his promise for the second time. Director Ma immediately wanted to kill Chairman Jang. By asking for forgiveness, Chairman Jang said that if Park knew this, the mafia business life would be destroyed. Therefore, he told Director Ma's men to kill Taegu instead. Taegu was annoyed to hear that Chairman Jang was a cunning boss all along. Chairman Jang felt his pride was undermined by Taegu, so he got angry at him. In this very upset state, Chairman Jang attacked the weak Taegu. He punched Taegu, but this made Director Ma and Jae Yan fight against Chairman Jang. Director Ma told Taegu that he had previously investigated the accident that killed Tagu's sister and his niece. It turned out that all along the mastermind behind the case was Chairman Jang. He did all this because he didn't want Tagu's family to be a burden when Taegu went on his mission. Moreover, Taegu was a respected person and many mafias wanted to recruit him. If this went wrong, Taegu would leave Chairman Jang's group and his followers would leave as well. Then Chairman Jang created a scenario for Taegu to kill Chairman Do, so he could take control of the other mafia groups. Hearing the truth angered Taegu. He immediately kicked Chairman Jang and wanted to kill him right then and there. Meanwhile, Director Ma could only sit and remember his promise to Park. He promised to kill Taegu only, and after that, there should be no dispute between them. Therefore, Director Ma gave a knife to Chairman Jang. Then Chairman Jang managed to stab Taegu in the stomach. However, Taegu was able to fight him off. He said that Taegu and Chairman Jang must die together, until Taegu managed to stab Chairman Jang. Meanwhile, Taegu was stabbed by Director Ma's men and ended with Chairman Jang stabbing Taegu. That way, Chairman Jang was allowed to survive. Director Ma did this according to his agreement with Park. He also released Jae Yan. He also expelled Chairman Jang from the place because he wanted to kill Jae Yan too. After that, Director Ma told his men to burn the place so that it would not leave any traces of Taegu's death. Jae Yan could only watch the place burn with Taegu's body. After Taegu's death, Jae Yan lived alone with a strong sense of revenge against the mobsters. She then looked into the whereabouts of the mafia, who were still on Jeju Island. Jae Yan then went to the place with great confidence that she could kill them all. She arrived at the restaurant where the mobsters were. She locked the door from the inside. She then shot at the mobsters inside the restaurant brutally, until finally Jae Yan found Chairman Jang and Director Ma. Seeing the two of them made Jae Yan even angrier. She quickly shot them both. After she made sure Chairman Jang and Director Ma were dead, Jae Yan left the place and headed to the beach. She smiled and enjoyed the view of the beach one last time. When the police came and wanted to arrest Jae Yan, she chose to end her life by shooting herself in the head.